The second international break is pretty much done and dusted, and the Hoops will return this weekend to take on Hearts. In today's video we will discuss all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours. But first, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Celtic content. Social media was rife with speculation on Wednesday afternoon, with suggestions that Celtic had prohibited the Green Brigade from attending their next 4 matches, including the vital Champions League group stage game against Atletico Madrid. Many users quickly believed these posts. However, a source close to the club clarified to us this evening that such claims are baseless. Contrary to these rumours, the Green Brigade has not received any bans from Celtic Park for the imminent fixtures. The root of this speculation can be traced back to the Green Brigade's recent announcement, in which they expressed an intention to show solidarity with Palestine during their home match against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League next Wednesday. It's reassuring to note that these rumours are without merit, as the repercussions would have been significant had the club taken such a step. Celtic are back in action this weekend, and we are involved in a pretty tasty clash. On Sunday, Brendan Rodgers' side will try to continue their terrific start to the Premiership season when they take on Hearts. The Tynecastle clash is the latest really testing away trip we've had at the start of the season. After wins at Pittodrie, Ibrox, Tony Macaroni Arena and Fir Park, Tynecastle and Easter Road could complete the set. You may or may not have noticed that Sunday's match is a 2:15 PM kickoff. Those starts are unusual for Scottish football matches. Normally if we are playing on Sunday we'd be looking at a 12 PM kickoff. The reason for this was explained in a recent article from Goal, and it essentially involved Hearts and Celtic stepping in to sort out a complex Sky Sports scheduling issue. The broadcasters, who show the Scottish Premiership and the English Premier League, usually have 2 back-to-back games from the latter on a Sunday. This week, however, they've had to move one of those, Sheffield United versus Manchester United, to Saturday night instead. This is because the Old Trafford side are due to play in the UEFA Champions League on Tuesday night, and therefore can't play their prior game on a Sunday, as is not enough of a turnaround. As a result, Sky only have 1 Premier League game on that day, and a hole in their usual mid-afternoon slot. Enter Hearts versus Celtic, and a later start for the 12 or so Hoop supporters actually with tickets for the match. Our allocation is actually 576. You may be wondering what Sky are now doing about the traditional Premiership 12 PM slot. Well, Celtic are actually stepping in there too. Celtic FC women face Rangers in the SWPL on Sunday, and that match from the Excelsior Stadium will be shown on Sky. Kickoff is at noon. So that's around 4 hours worth of Celtic on Sunday, and you won't even need to lift your remote to change the channel. South Korean midfielder Jung Ho-yeon's hopes of a move to Celtic have been dealt a blow by his current manager Lee Jung-hoil. Celtic have reportedly been tracking Jung with an eye to possible transfer in the upcoming January transfer window. The Gwangju FC boss's brutal comments stated that Jung lacks the necessary quality to make a switch to the Scottish champions at this point in time. Jung, who's 23, had been rumoured to be the latest South Korean talent heading to Celtic Park, potentially joining the likes of Hoyeon Gooi, Yang Hoyeon-jun and Kwon Hyuk-koo. However, Lee's remarks indicate that the player has yet to achieve the level expected to thrive in European football. As quoted by Football Scotland, his current manager said, "I haven't heard anything, but Jung doesn't have the quality to go to Celtic. I hope he grows up, improves and eventually goes. But in his current situation, there is a high probability that he would come straight back. He needs to develop more in terms of skill and technique to be considered for a move in Europe." Speaking about Oi, Yang and Kwon, Lee said, "Right now those 3 players at Celtic are not adapting. They still need more time." That's quite a strong statement from the manager, and it'll be interesting to see what happens in regard to a possible transfer in the forthcoming weeks and months. Celtic standouts Kyogo, Maeda and Rao Hatate could potentially be set to miss the New Year derby clash. Japan plans a preparatory match of the Asian Cup on New Year's Day and will likely be keen for the squad that will compete in the tournament to be there for the match. The proposed warm-up game on January the 1st, 2024 is merely 2 days after Celtic's intense clash against Rangers in the second Old Firm derby of the Scottish football season. It's borderline impossible for any Celtic Japanese stars to play both games. Celtic had a clear stance under Ange Postecoglou that the club wouldn't ask for games to be postponed because of players' international commitments. The Asian Cup itself is slated between January the 12th and February the 10th next year. This scheduling could indeed be problematic for Celtic, as not only are the Japanese stars expected to feature for their national side, but their Korean talents, Oh, Yang and Kwon, are also anticipated to be in contention for their country during the same period. Even Tilio could be jetting off for the games. The overlapping of the club and international commitment will likely raise concerns for Celtic, as several key players could potentially be unavailable for significant domestic fixtures due to international duties. The club will undoubtedly be keeping a close eye on proceedings and planning accordingly to manage the potential challenges that lie ahead. Former Celtic star Jota appears set to make a surprise return to Al Ittihad starting 11, following a noteworthy display in a recent friendly against Al Wahda. Having been sidelined and excluded from Al Ittihad's Saudi Pro League squad registration, Jota faced a challenging period after his £25 million move from Celtic. This omission came as a shock, especially considering the significant investment the Saudi club made just a few months prior. Nonetheless, Jota's prospects at Al Ittihad seem to be looking up, and he netted the deciding goal in a friendly against Al Wahda. The entirety of Jota's 90-minute display seems to have impressed Al Ittihad's manager Nuno Espirito Santo. The manager is now reportedly considering Jota for the starting lineup in the upcoming AFC Champions League match against Al Khwaja and Al Jawaya. Although Jota remains ineligible for Saudi Pro League games, he can participate in the domestic cup ties and AFC Champions League matches. Former Rangers captain Barry Ferguson has heaped praise on Celtic's Japanese duo Kyogo and Hatate. The pair brought to the club by manager Ange Postecoglou during his first season in charge were unknown figures on their arrival. However, they didn't take long to make themselves known. The pair have started to get regular call-ups to their national team, and both started against Tunisia, and Kyogo got on the score sheet. Barry Ferguson spoke on Go Radio, and he confessed that the pair were good finds from Celtic, and admitted he was impressed with Kyogo and Hatate. Two players again that you never knew anything about, said Ferguson, but I have to be honest, I've been hugely impressed with both of them. Kyogo's movement and goal scoring as a forward player, Hatate I think he's got everything you want in a midfielder, and John Hartson is spot on about Hatate. It takes you a bit of time to get up to speed, and I'm sure Brendan Rodgers would have been happy for him to go away and get minutes under his belt for Japan. But the two of them have been brilliant finds for Celtic, there's no doubt about it. Hatate was in top form just before the international break. Hopefully he's heading back to Celtic ready to play as he did against Kilmarnock with Celtic, heading into a busy period of games. The pair both put pen to paper on new long-term contracts at Celtic over the past few months. It was great business from the club, and it will have huge benefits regardless of when they choose to take up other challenges. Celtic fans, what do you make of the trio that could miss the derby? Let me know down in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video, guys. Make sure you drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Remember, we have released our brand new Celtic t-shirts. We have a Brendan Rodgers Pope t-shirt and our Celtic Ultra t-shirts too. You can find them at celticpower.com or just go down to the link in the description. Thank you, take care, bye bye.